use life, even though life's a gift. I'm born to death, but you still born to grift. And me, I don't miss. Keep your flagship crypto trash. Be ready for the paradigm shift. The cold wallet seed phrase say magnifique. Liquidity pool looking up at Diddy like Meek. One hand wash the other, both hands wash the face. In these DeFi streets, you best protect your cheeks. I'm from the planet Alawanapana. Had some jewelry for my wife to keep cause I don't wanna pawn her. And after taking secrets from Victoria, I may wall upon her. Or we drink from the Casamiga cause I'm a wall upon her. Homie Bujetta who never lies like Geppetto. I may rock some suspenders like Pinocchio in the ghetto.
Nigga, please.
He's my favorite nigga in the history of niggas.
Hey guys, we're one day closer. Nah. What's going on, everybody? Hope you're doing well. As always, let's get right into it. Check this out, y'all. Check this out. When I create content, I never really have a script. I never write something down and then speak on it. I've never really done that. No, I've never done it, actually. I've never written anything down and started to talk, right? That's just not my style. And it's no affront to those who do. But guess what? Like, when I'm talking about the reckoning, the day of reckoning, the era of reckoning, right? In my humble opinion, I think that's what's happening for people who pretty much took so much out of their lives to focus on what's going on the pulse chain side of things in crypto. You know, like there's a moment of reckoning. It's not even, I wouldn't even say it's a day, it's just a period, right? It's a period of reckoning. It's not just, I don't think it's just, you can sum it up in just one day. Like the unraveling, the revealing, if you will, of certain ugly truths. Like seriously. I personally, I bet on a person because I thought that person figured out something in crypto, and what they figured out didn't benefit me and my loved ones. It really was to serve himself. That's what he figured out, how to pretend that his thoughts and his plans were crafted in a way to help benefit you and I for the long run, delaying gratification. Meanwhile, he was instantly gratifying himself this whole time. You could say it's his right, because as a founder, you're afforded certain privileges by default. But the messaging, as far as telling your supporters and viewers and audience why it's important to delay gratification, while everyone's delaying gratification, you're instantly gratifying yourself and have been this entire time. It's funny when people say, when this guy always says, "Oh, I've never sold anything," you can't prove. oh wait, never sold this, never sold that, never sold this, never sold that. But this is a person who heralds anonymity and privacy. How in heaven would you know what he bought, what he sold, what he traded? Like, really, in truth, like, you really wouldn't. You could surmise, you could make an intelligent guess, but you really wouldn't. Shout out to the bats that are out here at this time. I'm recording is well into the early morning, and bats are doing what they do. You know what I mean? They fly a certain way. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the bats. Wildlife is a representation of Mother Nature. But going back to your founder, he can do whatever he wants and still hide behind under the veil of privacy. You would never know. And it's amazing, and I find this, utterly amazing how the talking heads that have supported, backed him up, and his coins and his endeavors and everything he's done, they don't even acknowledge any of the glaring contradictions that the founder has set forth and presented to the community and in the world. No, they won't go against him. Why would they, right? He made them rich. He made them rich. Made them retire. Right? Made them become well off. In a sense, like, become dependent versus independent. Become sort of like indebted, right? Versus just, basically free and sovereign. Where you just feel like you'll be betraying somebody I get it. If somebody you were listening to and you did what they said and that helped you change your life for the better and the life of your loved ones and everything, yeah, there's a great deal of admiration you would lend to somebody like that, right? Respect, etc., etc. I get it, But if your I guess perceived friend that helped you get rich is showing you consistent examples of a disconnect that he's been displaying for a very long time, too long, matter of fact, especially in crypto. A week is a month is 6 months, 6 months is a year in crypto. Things move that fast. So this guy's been playing these games with the people, hiding for way too long, and you guys don't have the courage, nor are you interested, nor do you care to even check him online, right? What type of believers were you in the beginning? You were believers for the time until that dissipated. You were believers in a fantasy for an era until you got paid, and then it's whatever. F everybody else, you got yours, so that's all that mattered. That's all that matters. You don't care what the founder does anymore because you got yours. To hell with everybody else. You're not gonna promote this terrific Ponzi-nomic system at minimum. You don't even want to help others maybe achieve your level of success at some point, because that was the thought at some point. There's some good in this world, and you seeing and believing and thinking that good exists in this founder's operations and among some of these people here. You would think, the good nature, which I do believe is true, but you know what? They get drowned out and overpowered by other individuals who are just completely 100% self-consumed with greed. They would stop at no lengths to make sure that they get paid while you remain wrecked, destitute, desperate, desperately wondering, when are you going to have your breakthrough? So those bad actors and bad people on the chain diminish anything any good person is doing. That's why people call the chain a scam chain right now. Like it's nasty, right? This is not just about maxis versus everybody else. Maxis versus builders, and this shit is deeper than that. It's not even about that anymore. In some respects, maybe it would have been better if it was just maxis versus builder talk, because the underlying message would be, Pulse Chain is still thriving. Pulse Chain is still something that should be respected. Pulse Chain, there's hope for Pulse Chain because X, Y, and Z reasons, right? The SEC lost, and so that just gives people reason to understand how these coins can't fall under any guidelines of SEC. They're not securities, etc., etc. Gives us a chance to really move price, help people overcome financial hardship. However you want to move price, just move the freaking price. But no, you can't have that. You know why? Because it's a scam chain. Listen. Do you think, this is why I say, like I've said this to people who I care about, attention-seeking degens. When I degen, I seek no attention. In other words, when I'm doing what I do, my 1-2s in life, I don't seek attention. I just do what I do. I speak freely in a certain way. When I say that there's people that still believe in Pulse Chain, it's not just about Richard or whatever. Richard is just narcissistic and self-absorbed and consumed in himself. He has no choice but to either pump for glory or run for life forever. There are other people and builders who really believe in the chain, who really, really, really believe in the chain, and have tried their best to launch different things that are just lacking. Even their systems are like various projects, various, and they're still suffering with the chain. The chain, it's all, this is what I'm saying, it's all crafted a certain way and controlled, but 90% of it is under the purview of one person. And it's not a dev that you know. It's not a promoter that you know. It's not a KOL that you think it is. It's your man, the founder himself. But in the same breath, want to talk about decentralization, and all these validator nodes throughout the world are operating. Hence, enhancing network effect and all these things. Decentralized. Come on, man. How decentralized is it not? That's what needs to be talked about. But you have these promoters, these shillers, these people who were once diehard Hexicans or whatever, maybe still are, who don't dare question what this man has done. And when I'm telling you about certain things, like it's deeper than like Maxi versus Builder, that rhetoric, that narrative is not even a thing anymore. You want to know why? It's not even about the P-Dye group versus everybody else. That's not even a thing anymore. It's a larger issue going on right now, larger problem that's falling. It's landing where it should have landed this whole entire time, on Richard's face, on his head. All of this is landing on him. Like, yo, dude, regardless, you got people who care about what you're doing, who will always perform oral on him regardless of what he's doing. They would just glaze him. They are suffering from cognitive dissonance on the highest level, Stockholm syndrome and everything. You got those types of fans. He has those types of fans. And then he has people who are the exact opposite, right? Who have nothing but contempt for this guy, like absolute maximum disdain and animosity, crazy acrimonious energy towards this guy, seriously. And then you have everybody in between. That's the level of what I'm seeing taking place here. That's what I mean, it's nasty. These people wanna, this is what they do. This is what they've been doing, and they think it's effective when it's really cringe. It's really immature, and it's quite sad when a person is sharing information, factual data, factual information, that raises questions that people need answers, because money was invested. Money's on the line here. And when the opposing side is saying things like, oh, you're crying, stop whining, you're gonna be muted, you're gonna be blocked, or you end up censored. It's the same foolishness that the entire Hex community was going through in the beginning, that you have throughout the whole 5.5 years. These individuals, duplicitous in nature, are enacting the same behaviors that the entire industry was enforcing upon them. They're enacting the same behaviors upon one another the whole time. That's never going to change. It's nothing but pure, absolute, consistent hypocrisy that's been taking place. And you could think that the garbage rolls from the top down. The top down. From your founder on down. Mr. 90% owner on down. People are waiting for a wing and a prayer. They act as if there's some type of benevolent alien that's going to come with massive bags that are going to pump this market to oblivion so that everybody could make a move and become rich. You think that's really going to happen? You think people really like Richard like that? I've heard for a long time that this guy has billionaire friends. The billionaire friends, what kind of friends he has as billionaire friends? They don't like him, because why would he have to endure over 2 year long price suppression? Oh, you want to blame SEC? Money protects itself. And then, a matter of fact, no, why are you still protecting? Why are you still talking about blaming the SEC when he won the case? He won. What's the problem? People don't care. He designed this in a way so he can have control, so he can have a say, and hide and pretend like he doesn't. To tell the world he doesn't work for anybody, to tell the world he doesn't own the OA, to tell the world he has nothing to do with any of this going on, to pretend like, oh, this whole thing with this P-Dye narrative, don't attach him to P-Dye. Meanwhile, he was promoting P-Dye, right? Would tell you ladies, liquor, and leverage. Meanwhile, you're promoting leverage programs that launch on your chain. These people followed your lead, issued sacrifices, got millions of dollars just following your lead. They learned from you, the founder, did something the same way. That's why in some respects, I can't even be mad at them, because they just did what they were taught. The dude gave him an open lane. He said to the world he hoped somebody would short Hex. So someone caught that, saw the opportunity, first mover's advantage, and took advantage and got paid handsomely. And I said this earlier in the stream. It's these same people that got paid handsomely with these sacrifice projects, post chain, the people that launched their own projects, hundreds of millions of dollars from the community, extracted from the community into their hands. Those people were not expecting Hex, Pulse X, Inc., or Pulse Chain to make massive gains. 100x, 1000x, 10,000. No. Maybe 20x, 10x. They already got their millions. And they knew what was going to happen if the charts were going to go up, but so high. That's why they've only gone up so high. In over 2 years. That's just my opinion from my observation of what I've seen just being involved in watching this. You know, it's a day of reckoning is coming. Listen, again, it's either he pumps the market or he remains a permanent loser on the internet for the rest of his days. Like, that's it. It's either he pumps his chain, pumps his coins, pumps the system that he owns the majority of, because that's how he designed it. Do your own research. I'm not here to break anything more down to you than that. If you care, you could do your own research. Those who know, you know. It's either he does that or he could lay somewhere in a remote locale, go live somewhere, abscond from the internet, disappear, hide forever, because the internet will never let him down on that. Let him just forget and absorb none of that. And he will still have his talking parrots who can't really think for themselves, who don't have the courage to really challenge Richard, who purport to be men but behave like man children, who behave like cowards but will tell you they're about some kind of change. They're about crypto. Crypto's for the people. They're about the revolution. Down with the central banks, down with the government and all this financial oppression that we've been going through. Well, they can't even ask this guy a question like, yo, what's up with X, Y, and Z? What's going on with this, and this? What's going on with you? This, and this. It's like they're insecure. They're not even confident in themselves. They were confident in following Richard's lead to just trick the people, bamboozle and hoodwink the people, and help program and brainwash the people, and to believe that the folks should believe in them, and lend these shillers and fake influencers and hex believers from the beginning the trust from the people. You understand? They try to be like Richard. And it worked in a sense where they built their popularity, they built their channels and this and that. Now they have these big channels and they do whatever they want. Including not challenging Richard when they see inconsistency, when Richard presents hypocrisy, right? Presents these things that have a direct effect on these bags, and will hear nonsense like, why are you fudding your bags? Ask Richard Hart that. Why is he fudding the bags? Because he got to the bag already. He's been getting to the bag already. Been extracting this whole damn time. You would tell me he acts like he's not? Serial entrepreneur, serial trader. You didn't tell me he's just sitting on his hands for 2 years. He had nothing to do. What does he have to do? No, he's trading, he's extracting, he's gonna do what he gotta do. Obfuscate, do things in hiding, clandestine, privacy, whatever, mixing, protocol, this and that, and this. Because he claims that's his right? It's like everybody else can. But you the founder. You're supposed to be giving tree. Oh, but you gave free claim to BTC holders of Hex and all this stuff. You gave a free book. You raised money charity off the backs of who? Your believers. Did you send a dime, any type of bread to anybody? Those kids that surround you in your picture, did you reach out to them and gave them some coins, gave them some Hex, giving tree? Those kids that are around you in your avatar, those black faces, you gave any one of them a bag of your coins, giving tree? Or are you too scared because of some stuff thing you have in your head about the US is so dangerous, like it's the worst place to be in the universe? What's wrong with this guy, bro? I'm telling you, it's a period of reckoning, man. It's just the build up. I'm telling you, it's building up, and I'm here to watch it unfold, you know. And y'all who rock with me, we rock watching it in unison, in our own way. Believe that. In any case, catch y'all on the next one, man. Take care of yourselves now more than ever. Make sure you take care of yourself, your health. Your main priority is you. Without you, how can you take care, cherish, and care for anyone else if you can't care for yourself? Right? For real. In some respects, in many respects, we can't lose sight of that. This dude pumped the market. Those of us that's still around, we all win. So I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. With the absolute, like, I enjoy doing this because this is a learning thing for me. I'm learning while I'm talking with y'all. I'm learning. I'm growing. You know, we'll teach the people who I love what to avoid. Because this man has taught me how to avoid scams like what he's produced and movements that he's made. And things, his actions are being uncovered. The more he tries to hide is the more he's revealing of himself. Imagine that. He thinks he's so much of a magician, but he's giving away so much of his tricks. He's talked so much online, he gave away a lot of himself. I told you that. Like, let somebody talk enough, they just gonna talk their way about themselves. They gonna talk themselves into a give him time to just say whatever you gotta say. He's gonna tell you who he is. Now it's up to you. Once they do that, you best believe them. You best believe them. That dude grabbing a 16-year-old, got a charge of him grabbing a 16-year-old by the hair, dragging him down a flight of stairs. You dragging them by the flight of stairs, and then when you done, while they're on their back, you still abusing them. While they're on their back after you drag them down a flight of stairs. What kind of allegation is that? This tell you, man, like, let the bags pump the bags to oblivion, and everybody wins. You don't pump the bags to oblivion, you still lose, sir. You lose, and everybody wins because we learn a very costly, valuable lesson. So we gain. It might be a hard reality to accept, but we did gain. We'll gain if he doesn't pump the market. He doesn't pump the market. Okay. He can't show himself on the internet. It's done. And watch what happens. Like, you could tell there's people out here that don't have time to play around waiting for somebody talking about they were giving to when they got big money on the line. I'm small fish. I'm sardine. You got people out here that got millions on this thing, man, maybe even more. And he playing around. That's why he hiding, you know. The moment of reckoning. Give up or shut up. That's the end of that. Take care of yourselves, people. Mind, body, and spirit. Always. Never neglect yourself. Seriously, now more than ever. Especially when you're waiting for this momentous occasion where we're going to see either we're going to see green, or he's going to see nothing but losses by not doing anything that he claimed to do. He claimed he was supposed to be doing, aiming for glory. I'm telling y'all, it's a win-win for people, a person like us, person like me, and those of us who stick around. It's a win-win because we watching crazy, like, wow, you crazy. You really shoot yourself in the foot like that, sir? Damn, homie. In high school, you was the man, homie. Up in the U.